to our own Apple Silicon.
You want to deliver the highest performance at the lowest power consumption. Our scalable architecture includes many custom technologies that, when integrated with our software and the Mac, will take another huge leap forward.
Tim Cook always has one thing or another cooking in the kitchen of Apple. Since the release of the M1 chip in November 2020, Apple has triggered the curiosity of the tech market with its all-new home-brewed Apple Silicon chip. Now the tech giant is set to make the market roll on its successor, the Apple Silicon Version M1X. Now, let's dig deep in the video. Welcome to TechSpot. Putting it in simple terms, Apple Silicon implies the chip that Apple makes, not the kind of chips that you eat that add spices to your taste, but surely to the performance of the digital devices you might own. Running on the custom Acorn RISC machine, ARM, architecture, Apple Silicon is a tiny yet incredible creation of Apple's own ingenious hands. Comprising of processing and memory units within a surface area as small as 5 nanometers. Did you know that the smallest chip in the world measures 2 nanometers? Which could be even smaller than a strand of human DNA. Since 2006, Apple has been using Intel's chips in its Mac lineup after making the switch from IBM Motorola's PowerPC processors, which sometimes exposed it to Intel's hitches, including its security issues and manufacturing delays, at times adversely dominating Apple's own plans. The release of the M1 chip signified the transition of Apple from Intel chips to its native, which the company had proclaimed at the Apple Worldwide Developers Conference, WWDC, in 2020. The development led by Senior Vice President of Hardware Technologies, Johnny Srouji, the Apple M1 chip is going to be the boost of M1 after its huge success to the tech market. Curious to know what's coming up with it? As a speedier and more efficient version of the Apple M1, M1X is to come with advanced features and prolonged battery life. Equipped with 8 high-performance Firestorm cores and 4 energy-efficient Ice Storm cores, shooting the total to 12. The beast is set to outperform its predecessor, M1, which has only 4 high-performance and 4 energy-efficient cores. These extra cores will require and draw more power. No worries though. The benchmarks indicate an increase in the wattage to 45 watts for the M1X, compared to the M1, which maxed out at 39 watts. The M1X is expected to thrive with a 16-core GPU, having 16 gigabytes of maximum memory and 256 execution units, ahead of the 8-core GPU with 128 execution units built in the M1. The M1X will run up to 3 displays, which will be in addition to the previously set mark, as the M1 could only support up to 2 displays. Quite a deal, huh? Talking about the devices pairing up with the Silicon M1X, Apple has big plans for the MacBooks. Codenamed Jade C-Chop and Jade C-Die, 2 different chips include 8 high-performance cores and 2 energy-efficient cores, for a total of 10, with the graphics core variations offered being either 16 or 32. The chips also include up to 64 gigabytes of memory, versus a maximum of 16 on the M1. Up for a refresh this year? The MacBook Pro 16 is to land with an SD card reader, a single HDMI port, an updated MagSafe port, and 3 Thunderbolts USB Type-C ports. Also, with a webcam of quality as high as 1080 pixels, one can look beyond stunning. Losing the MacBook Pro branding below the screen, the model is now all slim and sleek with reduced bezels and flat edges. While Mac Pro 16 gets a makeover, Mac Pro 13 gets a size lift with a redesign expected to turn the model into a 14 inches MacBook Pro, due to the issues in the supply of mini LED displays that Apple was willing to incorporate into the upgraded model along with the M1X. The launch was nudged from 2021 to 2020. Mac Mini is predicted to feature 4 Thunderbolt ports, 2 USB-A ports, an Ethernet port, and an HDMI port, the same as the 24-inch iMac. It also comes with a magnetic power connector and a glass-like reflective finish. Sounds pretty smooth. You can now watch Apple Silicon M1X make your imagination come to life with an extraordinary iMac Pro that's gaining a few extra inches to become a larger 30 or even 32 from 27 with a 16-core GPU and a stunning 6K display. Apple is presumed to bring the model with reduced bezels, resulting in a bigger screen. Also, didn't you just love the model launched last year with a lovely range of colors that will go flawlessly with your interior? Well, wait for the new color palette to make you drool over it.
Now what about graphics? We designed GPUs that deliver the maximum graphics performance in the thermal envelope of each of our products. This results in a balanced system with a GPU that complements the incredible performance of our CPU complex. Typically, PCs can't achieve this balance with integrated graphics. To get great graphics performance, they have to use a discrete chip which consumes a lot of power. M1 is different. With its integrated graphics, we get the best of both worlds.
The M1X chip is expected to be seen in iPad Pro no time before 2022, as the model engraved with the M1 chip just launched in April of 2020. Anyway, don't you want to know how much these goodies with slim features and a gleaming Apple in the back would cost you? Well, as the Apple M1X chip won't be sold solo, so the model it powers ultimately determines how it's going to weigh on our pockets. Several leaks have hinted that the Mac Mini, powered by the M1X chip, is to arrive during the WWDC event, along with the MacBook Pro 16.
We've been making Apple Silicon for more than a decade. It's at the heart of iPhone, iPad, and Apple Watch, and now we want to bring it to the Mac. So the Mac can take a huge leap forward with the incredible performance, custom technologies, and industry-leading power efficiency of Apple Silicon. And as we've said, we're developing a family of chips, and we're going to transition the Mac line to these new chips over the next couple of years.
While the name of the successor to Apple's M1 isn't confirmed, the reports and sources like Leaks Apple Pro on Twitter and the Bloomberg are gaining the enthusiasm of the people on the launch of these techs this summer and setting our hopes high above the sky. Even though Apple hasn't come out with any information about it yet, the graphic of the three tunes illustrated on Apple's WWDC 2021 website has added a punch to the buzz. Upon decoding the code visible in the glasses of the first tune, it comes out as the knife and fork, the sleep, and the laptop emojis, which many tech enthusiasts have interpreted to be an indicator of the upcoming Mac, with its enhanced features that Apple might unveil at the event scheduled on June 7th. While the rest are defining it as a representation of the typical developer's day: eat, sleep, code. Let's find out at WWDC. And now that's it for this video. We will meet you guys in the next one. Till then, goodbye.